kiddos. It's your bonus mom. I had the opportunity last Wednesday, November 5th, to sit down and have a good old conversation with Danny and Steve from Unmuted and Unhinged. They are two UK podcasters who talk to gamers all the time about why they game and their lives and what interests them. And so I was really thrilled to get offered the opportunity to chat with them. We had a great time. We did those very things. We talked about who I am and what my gaming experience is like, what games I like the best. They even heard a song from Bonus Dad and talked to some of the folks in my family. I heard that some of you missed it and would like to see that chat, and some others enjoyed it so much you want to see it again. So I am uplifting it to YouTube, and I hope you enjoy it. We've got it. Welcome, Steve. Good to see you this afternoon.
Yes, it is very good to see you. 2 seconds, I'm just going to swap over to my headset. There we go.
Thank you, Pixel, for being here. I'm
so
sure
obviously
Steve...
we are a little bit early.
Well, I just wanted to be ready, you know, and besides which, my son is going to go to work in a little while, and I wanted him to be sure, and we still missed something, right? Be sure I was set up correctly. I don't do a lot of these.
Fine. It's right, my co-host is currently trying to update her app before, I think she's ready.
Okay, good deal.
No, okay, so they're still not letting me invite her in. Lovely. I will just drop her a message and just let her know. But, guys, for anyone who doesn't know, I am Unmuted and Unhinged. We can finally put a face to the name. How are we all doing? And I have the greatest of pleasure of having BonusMom as my guest. It is an absolute pleasure. I'm more surprised she even said yes more than anything. But yeah, we cannot wait. I just need to... we're having issues my end, which is the first time that's ever happened.
Oh, really? I always have issues. I live for issues, it seems like. Jeanette, thank you for the heart me. And Bree, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the heart me. I will do the best I can to answer stream. As we can see, I'm in a situation I'm not in all the time. I'm chatting with Steve and Unmuted and Unhinged, and we're just going to sally forth.
Yeah, so the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to ask you some little questions about yourself. We're going to get to know you. We're going to get to find out what got you into streaming, why you started it, what games even started it all off. And then we're going to dive into you. We're going to find out about the person behind the camera, behind the persona of BonusMom, find out a little bit of information about you. And then we'll open up any questions to your chat, my chat, to ask us questions, yourself a question, or even myself personally as a question. And if my co-host is able to get in at some point, obviously them as well. Nitro, how are we doing? But yeah, just a bit of forewarning.
Okay, Pixel wants to know if he needs to come back and invite someone else.
I don't think so. I think it's an issue their end. Yeah, it says they've not updated the later version of TikTok, so that's...
He says he doesn't think so, but show me how to point me if I end up having to do it. Okay, and then that was send an invite
well,
too.
He popped up probably because he had tried to invite you, so we may have to do more searching if it doesn't work the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, it's saying on my end that she's not updated the latest version of TikTok, so...
I just looked at you all after we came back and I thought...
Thank you to all the folks that are wishing me a good day, and those of you who have jumped in to watch. Thank you. Glad you're here.
But yeah, I just want to put a little bit of disclaimer out there for both sides. If any gifts are sent on my side, please don't feel disheartened that I've not thanked you for it. Honestly, I do appreciate it. I just don't want to interrupt the flow of conversation between us both. But I will get to you at the end, like once all of this is finished, and I will then thank you afterwards for everything like that. I just want to try and keep it as smooth and as professional as possible.
And I will do likewise.
I expect nothing different from you, BonusMom. You seem the most professional person going.
Well, thank you. And thank you for inviting me here. I'm delighted to be here.
Superstition.
We're delighted that you've even said yes, even if my co-host isn't here. So let's just get started. My co-host will join us as and when she can. I'll keep trying to invite her throughout the podcast. But yes, welcome, Bonus Mum. Thank you very much for saying yes to being one of our guests. We absolutely appreciate it. It's amazing that you said yes, especially with the massive following that you currently have, and it's still growing daily. Like every time I pop in, it's just follow after follow after follow. So with all of that going on, how do you handle keeping such a big community so tight and so close?
I think that the fact that I'm here almost every day that I can be, that helps. So just like when you get to visit a lot with, your next door neighbor or the people at work, you get close and you start to share the everyday things that are happening in your life, a lot of which are very small. And the same back at us. I was mentioning before you got here that one of my sons rescued a dog a week ago, and Maggie has just become beloved by the community, and people who love pets are so interested in the story. So it's a much bigger story than just Maggie. And I think that that is one of the secrets, that if you will share yourself with your community, then your community will share itself with you, and you get close, you get tight, you know what's going on, and you catch up every day. And I think that helps. Our Discord community thrives, Bonus Mom's Tavern. And that is kind of a better way. I'm sure you found this to be true. We all have. It's a better way to have long-term communication than so much the messages through TikTok. You really
Yeah.
need to have Discord or another app where there are more opportunities for longer and more interactive communication between me and my friends.
Yeah,
So
exactly that. Yeah, definitely. Because I've always found, like, when you have a big following, you can kind of lose sight of where you've come from, because you find that you got these streamers out here that started from where we've started from. They've grown into this massive popular streamer, and they just seem to have forgotten. My co-host is about to join. Here we go.
okay,
Yeah, they seem to have
awesome.
forgotten where they've come from. Bonus Mum, meet Danny.
Hi,
Danny
Danny.
is my co-host, and it's about time that she's able to join us.
Oh yeah,
Nice to
delighted
meet
be
you.
So yeah, it's amazing how you stay so humble, even with such a massive following that you have. Like it's so refreshing to see.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I think another thing that's helped me is I kind of decided in the beginning that I was just going to be me. This is kind of who I am, but I tell everybody I have an edge. Yeah, I try to be a nice person, but don't mess with me. And sometimes I slip and slide along that edge, and actually, I think my community gets a kick out of it. So, yeah, we all started in the same place. You're exactly right about that. And I have been very blessed. I've had some real lucky, quote unquote, things happen to me. And the fact that I'm oldest dirt is one of them. So I look different, and when you're scrolling that For You page, what's that old lady doing with Minecraft? That definitely helps.
See, that was going to be one of my questions. Is so, as obviously a woman from the older generation, but also being a woman, how have you found that that's affected you streaming wise?
Okay. You used a term in there. Ben women, what were you saying? Being a woman, was that it?
Being a woman, yes.
Well, what we discovered early on, if I can, okay, it's going to be a little story, guys.
We love a good story.
All righty, here we go.
We're here
Yeah,
for it.
When we started this to be on here, it was kind of because I met some people in somebody else's stream and got to be in a community, Vincent Page's Yeet Fleet, and they just started thinking I was funny. Plus, I like to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I like to play games, and so they thought that was hilarious. Little old lady playing Dungeons and Dragons, okay. And they said, you need to be a streamer because you're funny. That's the first thing I got, was I'm funny. Don't we all like to be told, boy, you're really funny? But anyway, so I tried it on a lark, and I just sat and talked to people, and then like I said, I had some miraculous things happen. I had a very big streamer, JC Callan from California, raid me because at the time I had pink hair. I was not only old lady older than dirt, but I was old lady with bright pink hair, the color of my t-shirt, which I'm kind of wearing in honor of that. And he brought 2,500 people into my Twitch stream the first time I ever went live. So that was like an amazing thing that happened. But I think maybe not, yeah, part of it is being a woman, but honest to Pete, I think it's because I'm different. Everybody's looking for something different. And that's my advice to new streamers is you have to be yourself and you have to find something about yourself that is different and will appeal to people quickly. Because you know that scrolling on TikTok, that sucker goes fast. You
Yeah.
don't have very long.
Definitely so true. Because
Yeah.
obviously, so we're a new podcast channel, so we're still in that growing phase. Obviously, I've got my own separate channel that I do my gaming on. That's still growing. Obviously, Danny's growing fast as well, doing what she's doing. Like, just finding that middle ground of staying humble, but also staying humble, being yourself, but also putting on that front that you want people to see. So that's kind of why we started the podcast channel, because yes, everyone has that persona that they put out for everyone, but we're here to find the person behind that persona.
Okay. Have at me. I can handle it.
So, other than obviously streaming Minecraft, you've said Dungeons and Dragons. What else? What other games like did you play
Okay,
that
see,
got you into streaming?
I did not start streaming with Minecraft. The first game streaming I ever did was actually on my son Hammer and Pixel's Twitch stream, Ages of Einor, and it was on stream D&D. So the first things I did was I played a character, and I'm a backstory fanatic. I get real weak on the mechanics of, you know, what the smite and what the mace and what the this, that, and the other thing will do, and I'm all about the story. I guess that a part of my personality is most likely improv. So I talk a lot. Improv is something that's easy for me. Being in front of people is easy. So I kind of moved from the Dungeons and Dragons. People like that. They were interested in to where I just sat and talked, had like a coffee clatch Monday through Friday mornings. And I started to crochet, and that got people interested. And then also all the way through it, the gaming. I've always been a gamer all of my life. Stardew Valley's the first thing I ever streamed on here. Then, as a result of a Channel Points challenge, I got into Elden Ring, and I've played all the way through Elden Ring and the downloadable content in the modded form where we could have a team of 4 people who were there. I don't know if you're familiar
Amazing.
with Elden Ring. It's a game where you can draw people in sometimes. Well, we played a modded version where my son and my grandson and a good friend could drag me through the whole thing just trying to keep me alive. Okay, I'll be honest. It's like, if BonusMom dies, we got to restart the boss fight. We got to get her through every boss fight. I've also played Grounded and Split Fiction and The Two of Us, and or maybe it was It Takes Two. It's It Takes Two. Final Fantasy 14 is a dream game for me. I love it. So I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14, but I tend to play it if I stream later at night. And, you know, Skyrim is out there somewhere. I want to run it just because I want to honor Skyrim Granny, you know, and do the same thing again in my own way. It's closest to my heart are cozy games, and I like those games where you're flipping hamburgers in a certain amount of time. Time management. Love time management games.
Dyna Dash.
Yeah. Merge Mansion on my phone is just, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, you've got such a wide variety of games that you've played. It amazes me. Because obviously, I've only ever seen you play Minecraft. So you saying that you've played It Takes Two, Skyrim, Elden Ring, it blows my mind that like you enjoy them type of games.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy those type of games?
If I'm honest, I've never played Skyrim. I've never played Elden Ring. I've watched people play it, and I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I'd play that, but I've never got round to doing it.
So what do you play? What's your relaxation time?
So my relaxation game is Minecraft. Danny absolutely hates it.
The
She
truth is
absolutely
revealed.
despises it. Yeah, that's all I ever get every time I'm live playing it. But lately we've been playing Phasmophobia.
Oh,
which is
okay.
a horror type game. And it just sends shivers straight down my spine every single time I play it. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just
But
one
they
of them
just
games.
well, Danny? What is your game then? Is it the scary games? What do you like to play?
I like, you know what it is? I like a mixture. I mainly play Warzone because my fan base prefer Warzone, and it's how I met a lot of them as well. Um, but yeah, me and Steve, we play a bit Phasmophobia along with a couple of other people that we met. Um, but I like fantasy, not fantasy football, football manager.
Oh, okay.
Um, I played. I don't know if you've heard of Valheim
Oh
or
yeah.
yeah, V Rising as well. I don't know if you've played that.
That I have not.
Um, but yeah, mine is quite a wide variety of different games that I'll play. But
Cool.
I'll go back to again. Dungeons and Dragons is something I've always wanted to play.
I've always wanted to play it as well.
Like your classic actual board games as well, not just on PC or PlayStation. Actual board games. I don't know if you've heard of Gloomhaven.
No, I
No,
don't
so
think
that's
so.
like a big board game that they released on PC and then they released on PS5. And it's basically tactile and you've got to pick the right sort of scenario to do for that boss and yeah, just quite different, quite a range.
Well, see, I don't think it's unusual that you all play any of those games. So, really, let's just turn it around. It's not unusual that I play the games. I tell my community all the time, I think they think that October of 2022, I suddenly discovered I liked games. And that's not the case at all. I have been playing games since I was 5, 6 years old. I lived in Canada at the time because my dad was in the Air Force. And I can remember playing marbles in the dirt that was the sidewalk instead of a sidewalk. We were in St. John's, Newfoundland. And I was playing marbles, pick up sticks. So I've always played games. I didn't wait till I got old and then decided to play.
And
So,
I think that's what like our generation forget a lot of the time is there's a lot of games that were about years and years and years ago before all of this technology came about. Whereas when in our generation, when we think of games, we think of board games or PlayStation games or
right.
some like Sega Mega Drive is probably as far back as it goes for me from when I was younger.
Well, and
But we forget about all these like jump and jack games that you used to play in the
yeah.
playground and
Oh, yeah, you're right. And another thing, I married Bonus Dad in 1985. So Christmas of 84, I was meeting his family, and they got Pong for the TV that year in 1984. And none of us were old and
Wow.
grandparents at that time, and we're all sitting there in front of the TV playing Pong. Bonus Dad got a home computer in 1990, and I started to play solitaire on it in 1991. That's a whole lot of years ago. That's like 35 years ago. So yeah, there's a lot of older folks out there now playing games. Dungeons and Dragons has been around since the late 1970s.
That's
Games
the
have been
thing. It's
around a
just
long time.
when we come across like the older generation playing games, like for obviously myself and Danny, because there's only a few years between us, but even like the younger generations, it's so
it's mind
unusual.
blowing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like it's strange, but not in a bad way. It's just it's not the normal thing for us to see, if that makes sense. Like it's like I could never see my grandparents
yeah, it's the
like
same with me.
Well, one
picking up a mobile phone, let
yeah,
alone playing a game.
and I actually struggle with mine sometimes. One of the edges that I do have is that Bonus Dad was a hardware computer tech when I married him, and he worked for companies that had the great big ones like scanners and things that at the time filled up half a room, like power companies, and the water company and that sort of thing. So he knew a lot about hardware computers at the time, and that's how we ended up with the home computer. We were the first people anywhere around anybody in my family or anywhere I knew that had a personal computer. And he laughs about it now because if you have a adding machine or something, you have more memory in it than that that original computer did. But that's what got me started. So I do have a little bit of an edge, although the new technology leaves me behind. You briefly saw my son Hammer and Pixel getting me set up in here.
Yeah.
And I have another son, Redbeard the Pink, and both of them I just depend on so much to make the OBS happen and the Twitch stream and the, all the things together. I really don't understand all that. I just come in, sit down, and I go.
It's amazing that you call your kids and your husband by their gaming names.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely brilliant. Like, I could just see it now, just sat around the dinner table. And just, oh, bonus dad, pass me the salt, or Pixel passes that. Like, it
My
amazes me
family
'cause-
really laughs. I have a grandson that, again, it's the grandson that I played Elden Ring with, and he started out calling me a grandmotherly name. He's I think he's 17 now, but he calls me Bonus Mom because he streamed with me. And when you stream with somebody, that's when it becomes becomes important. And my husband joins me a lot of the days that I stream. He'll come in towards the end of my stream. Usually by that time, this old broad needs a bio break, okay? And I'm running down the hall. He sits down. He will sing a song or two. He'll read a poem or two, and then he reads an Uncle Wiggily story. And that's kind of the way we end our streams. So he has a beautiful singing voice. It's one of the things
Love
that
that.
definitely attracted me to him. And so yeah, we turned into the bonus family, and a lot of folks call us that, the bonus fam.
Yeah, I definitely might have to try and hang around long enough to catch the end of the stream to see that. I've seen Bonus Dad a couple of times, but I've never stayed around long enough to catch any of his songs or a poem or anything like that.
Well,
so.
and with you were talking about how much I'm playing Minecraft. He doesn't do it as much. See, the last update, the Happy Ghast update, is this recent realm that we have, and it just took on like no realm I've ever played in before, with the people that were in there building and doing different community builds and things. And I get so involved in the Minecraft a lot of times anymore. He doesn't join me, but he used to, particularly when I crocheted.
Yeah. So speaking about obviously the crocheting, because every time I join you live, you always seem to have a different hat on, and they look so cool. Like, do you make every single one of your hats, or like do you buy them as they are?
Pretty much, yes. There are a couple of things. This is like a headband, okay? And that Bluebird of Happiness was actually a gift from somebody else. But yeah, the majority of the crochet around here, I do it myself. See, Bonus Mom is not the only person that I am. Before
which is
I
what
was
we want to
Bonus
find.
Mom, I was the crotchety old hat lady. And I crocheted goofy hats and dice bags and gauntlets. And I went to sci-fi fantasy conventions, set up a booth, and sold my wares. So I like to crochet primarily small projects like that. So there are people out there that know me as the crotchety old hat lady. And of course, that's a play, on crochet.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, I can look back at my life and I can see I'm also a retired pastor's wife. So you were talking about the persona. I have learned to keep the smile on my face and the nod at work when I need to
Yep.
as a preacher's wife. That Bonus Dad is a retired pastor. He's done many different things in his life and his last career after the computers. Computers got to be so technically advanced that they didn't need hardware techs anymore. You just got a new board or a new laptop or, But it used to be when he was doing it, he would pull the boards out of the computer and he would diagnose the little bits and pieces, the real estate on the computer board way back in the day. So anyway,
A very clever bloke then.
before I was the crotchety old lady, before I was the preacher's wife, I had a crafting business. We were in Utah for 9 years, and I cut and painted wood, and I did patchwork and quilting. So I've always done something in the creative line to keep myself busy, and if I could sell it, I sold it. So yeah.
Love that. So you're it's quite clear that you are a very creative woman, and you always have been. Always
Well,
loved your games.
Up to a point. Like, one of the things that stops me dead in Minecraft right now, I'm supposed to create and build a gingerbread house, and I am at a total loss because I only follow tutorials. I'm not creative in that way, but I do like to just keep my hands busy doing something.
Yeah, absolutely love that. So let's dive into you as a person. Obviously, you just said that you're a retired pastor's wife. What line of work did you used to do before? Obviously, you become bonus mom and you started streaming.
Okay, I
help
am
all
not
of
a
us.
I'm not a person with a career behind me. I graduated from high school in 1969, and I went off to college and took as many different languages as I could where I was going, because I had a vision that I would like to work for the government, the civil service, or perhaps move to a different country or travel to different countries and teach English to foreign speaking people. I was a French major in college because I had more French than anything. Took some German, a little bit of Russian, right much Spanish. Well, then I got married, as we sometimes do, before I was going to graduate. So I stopped and had an unhappy marriage for 3 years. Yay. And by the time I got out of that, I just wanted to get the college degree to do it. I no longer wanted to work for the government or travel all over the world or whatever. I had aged a little bit, growing up. I was in my mid 20s, and I was thinking, not for me. Well, I had gotten a job in a bookstore, so I worked in several bookstores, worked in a college bookstore, moved from there. When Bonus Dad and I met and married, then we wanted to have children, and I was in my 30s by this time, and so then the focus was on my two sons. I had two sons, was a stay-at-home mom, but I had this craft business on the side. Okay, then he became a pastor. Oh, I'm sorry, my child's saying goodbye. He became a pastor. I became a preacher's wife, and I went to work in a dentist office as a receptionist. So then for 12 years, I was a receptionist. None of those in America really are careers. They're more jobs that women have to supplement an income. So that, other than being a stay-at-home mom, those were the kinds of jobs I had, and then moved into to doing this after we retired. We both retired from that. So I'm not a career person.
Yeah. So what did obviously Pixel and Bonus Dad and all your other kids or your
Red
family
Bears.
think when you turned around to them and said, "I'm going to start streaming on TikTok and show everyone show the world what I do"?
Well, I had a really difficult conversation. My brother and sister-in-law and two of my nieces live here in Knoxville, and a couple of great nieces. And I ended up telling my brother and sister-in-law, who are not even on Facebook, I'm doing this thing now, and they just couldn't get it. They still don't understand what I do, and they just kind of think it's a joke, okay? And I'll tell them, like, I have 100,000 followers, in the day, and they're just like, they don't get it. I got little business cards printed because I needed them, okay? And at the time, I was still crocheting things, shipping them to people, sticking a business card in. But my son, Pixel, is just instrumental in me being here. He's the one who conceived the idea for the very first short video that I ever did, which went viral on TikTok, sort of, I guess. We put up this video. It was Dungeons and Dragons related. I played the part of like the mom who was sending the adventurers off, and I'm saying, let me know you got there safe, and whatever. Cast sending at me so I'll know you're there when you go to the Truant Tree Tavern. And I had 1,000 followers in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I could have gone live the first day I was on TikTok, which I understand that's unheard of.
Yes.
So that happened to me. That was another just an unbelievable break, to have your very first thing that ever hit your page be semi-viral.
Yeah, that's huge to have
So-
your very first video to take off like that, and I would have killed to have had something like that happen to me.
And I stumbled through it. I didn't know it's not what happened to everybody. I mean, I hate to be that naive and dumb, but it's really true. And I still am. The first time somebody called me a goat, I was insulted. What? I can say I'm old. I had people tell me I'm sick, I'm nasty. I'm like, now wait a minute here.
Why are you calling me an animal?
Ooh.
Absolutely brilliant.
So, yeah, so I've had a lot of really, really lucky breaks, I have to say. Bonus Dad just loves it. He thinks it's the neatest thing ever. And he's the one, he does a much better job of carrying my business cards and, talking to the waitresses and embarrassing me at checkouts and doctor's offices. He came home from an appointment just yesterday. He said, I have 2 new watchers for you. They promised me they're going to check in because you play Minecraft and they like Minecraft. So he's handing the cards out. So basically, the family loves it. They get a great kick out of it. My brother and his wife, they don't understand.
That's amazing. Have you been recognised whilst you've been out and about just doing your general shopping?
Not really. I went to a sci-fi fantasy convention up in Johnson City, Tennessee, and when I very first started, I had met some people from North Carolina who asked me to do a telephone like what we were doing with them at their D&D table, and I said sure. And then 2 years later, August of last year, they recognized me at the convention, so that happened. And then I've had people, because we get somewhere between 500 and 700 trick-or-treaters, and the first year that I was trick-or-treating, handing candy out through our garage, I had some kids from the local middle school recognize me and said, "Can I get your autograph?" And that was really fun. But by and large, no, I don't get recognized. No.
Really? Wow. That surprised me. I'd like to have the following that you've got, and you can still go out, like just go to like the shops and do your shopping and not be recognised.
Well, these followers, again, they've grown over 3 years, and it does kind of go up and down. You lose a few
Yeah.
every day. They come and they go and whatever. But I don't get that many viewers, although when I was playing Minecraft right around the update, I really was. There's a lot of people in this world. My number may look big, but there's a lot, it's really a pretty small little number in the pond. I will tell you, if I could just, I don't know if you haven't stood around long enough, you might not have noticed, but we're trying a new thing with my TikTok where we're rating other TikTok people. And how we're
Okay.
doing it, at the end of my TikTok stream, I'll look for a name of somebody that's playing Minecraft or whatever I'm doing, and I'll type it in my chat, and then I'll pin it, and I'll tell my viewers, now you go share this person, you go tell this person Bonus Mom sent me. So I'm offering that to you. It's working out great, and I am finding when I do that, I'm hearing back that the majority of the Minecraft people that I've streamed, they know who I am. They know who I am, and they're saying, "Oh my God, you're on my For You page sometimes more than once. You're there all the time." And I have generated some excitement from people who are thrilled that Bonus Mom rated them. So
Yeah.
try it sometime when you get, instead of just sending your viewers off to anybody, go find somebody and then tell them that Unmuted and Unchanged, or which way it is.
I'm muted and unhinged.
Yeah, and Unhinged. Tell them that they sent you, and that's a little community builder. It really is. I've had several of those
Yeah.
people come back in. I rated a Portuguese TikToker who does amazing builds. I think she's Portuguese, does not speak English. But I sent my people to her anyway and said, "Tell her Bonus Mom said," well, she came back to my stream the next day, and that was pretty awesome. So,
Amazing.
think about that. That's not a bad idea. I think it's a
Yeah,
good
that's-
idea.
That's a good idea.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
Particularly when
We're
you're
always
doing your
looking for
personal
extra
streams.
tips to grow more.
Yeah,
Oh,
particularly, in your when you're done playing World of Warcraft or all of those things you were talking about. I don't think that was one of them. Go find somebody else that's doing that and tell them that you sent them.
Lovely Jules, that.
That is a good thing.
You got any questions, Danny? I feel like I've been sat here asking all the questions, and
You know what? I think it's the same. It's the same every week. Like you ask questions that I would have asked anyway, or vice versa. So, I just, for what it's worth, I just like sitting here listening to you talk, and I think it's great.
I wondered if I would be able to understand you all because of the accent difference, or if I would start to drift into your accent because I'm real bad to do that. Danny,
see,
have
my
you
ac-
run into challenges as a woman being a gamer, or
good shout.
I haven't. There's been a couple of things where a couple of randoms have dropped in and just started asking these sort of really crude, awful questions. But I've got a really good community. I've got a nice build of moderators on there as well. So they'll quite often jump in and they'll come and meet them or kick them. So they've always kind of got my back in that way. But I haven't really struggled, but I've only been doing it since June, so there's time.
okay.
There is time for that to come.
Oh, thank you.
But no, and in terms of the accents, Steve, mine is better than yours.
I would not go
You
that
can
far.
understand me more than you can understand you. I'm telling you.
I would not go that far. When it comes to a Geordie and a Southerner, yours is 100% worse to understand. I'm sure
Okay,
Bonus
then
Mum
we'll
has
put-
got a
let's
few
put this to-
accents.
Let's put this to Bonus Mom then. Who can you understand better?
I mean, that is probably the perfect person to ask.
I want to be sure I get invited back someday. So how am I going to answer that? I believe, Danny, that I do understand you just a tad better. I was more afraid talking to, but I will tell you that Steve Bills has cleaned his accent up from the first time we talked. Now, I'm also going to say I have a little bit of hearing loss, so sometimes I don't catch everything. If you say it in your mouth a little bit sometimes, and I think you project maybe even more than Steve does. But you're both doing great, and I understand both of you. So I did. One of the people that
Amazing.
responded when I uploaded my TikTok, because I'd said in there, I think the first question is going to be, am I going to understand them, and are they going to understand me? And
Yeah.
somebody from the UK responded and said, don't worry about it. I don't understand half the people that live in my country either. So don't worry.
Yes.
I think we've got to with other people like Americans or Australians, we can definitely understand them. We don't really have an issue, but people do have a serious issue trying to understand our
100%
accents. They are so very different,
Yeah.
and we talk extremely fast. But yeah, at least you can understand us.
Well, there are people in my country, if you ever interview somebody from Boston, Massachusetts, they're speaking a foreign language as far as I'm concerned. I can't get it. And when we
I
lived,
feel like that when I'm talking to people from Birmingham
Or Liverpool.
or Liverpool. Yeah.
Liverpool. I think Liverpool's probably the worst accent in England.
well, I know
Yeah.
that the Beatles are my generation, and I was in love with all four of them. Would have had all their children. But when they were singing, I did great. But when they were being interviewed, I couldn't understand any of it, and I really have trouble still. Paul's almost the only one left. Paul and Ringo. I
Yeah.
still have trouble understanding them when they just speak.
Yeah, I think every woman from that generation with the Beatles will all say the same. They're all in love with them. All would have had their babies. Like I think it's just a standard thing, really.
Well, it still goes on. You know, we get hooked on the stars. We do.
Yeah. So with obviously the following that you've got, and the amazing community that you also have as well. On the flip side of that, obviously everyone gets the haters, they get the trolls. How do you deal with that personally?
Yes, I would like to see this sassy side that you said
Yes, 100%. We need to see this cutting edge bonus mum.
Well, I too have the really good moderators, and they mute a whole lot of people, and I try to just let it go. There are a few things that really get my goat, and as I've gotten more followers, then it does get tougher. And there's like this. I'm just gonna go there, okay? Y'all just get ready. Here we go. There's this picture out there, and it's generated with X's and O's. And there are two of them. One is featuring one of a guy's favorite parts, and the other one is one of a woman's upper half, you know. And now here I am at 74 years of age, and these things go by me like I'll get 8 or 10 or 12 of these drawings will flash on my screen, you know, when I'm trying to live stream, and I think, do they think I've like never seen anything like that before? But it's just so absurd that somebody would feel like they need to go into somebody's stream and like try to flash dirty pictures. I guess that's what I'm saying. And I'm
Yeah.
real bad to say, gee, I hope the person that came up with that originally is getting royalties, because the use it's getting, they deserve to be paid for it, you know, because it's all the same drawing. And I get people that want to invite me to the dark side. I get those too, you know, that come look at my videos. And one of the things that really bugs me is people who come in there and want to tell everybody to come to their stream. Hey, follow me, shout me out, come see my video.
Yeah.
And I'm real prone to say, do you go into people's living rooms, or they come over and tell me turn or burn, you know, claim Jesus or you're going to hell. Well, I'm a woman of faith. I'm a believer. I'm a child of God. But I say to them, do you go into people's living rooms? Because that's basically what you're doing right now. You've like opened my door and walked in, and now you're telling
Yeah.
me and my guests turn or burn. And sometimes I do get a little rough with them. My son Hammer and Pixel says, Mom, it's engagement. They're commenting. Just let it go. He says that about all of it. Just don't notice and keep going. But every once in a while, if I can think of a clever retort, which I probably couldn't right now, but sometimes hopefully they're clever, I try to smack them down a little bit.
Yeah,
Let 'em know,
That's
you
the
know.
thing. You
Yeah.
always get them trolls, no matter who you are, no matter how big you are, how small you are. Like you still get them come in. I've had people come in, like during the podcast, and start just spouting. And yes, I ignore it. I really want to say something, but at the same time, where we're a podcast channel, you have to I have to stay as professional as possible.
Sure.
And it's so hard to do it sometimes because you really just want to go in on them.
Yeah.
But like Redbeard and Pixel said, it's engagement. They're helping push you out further.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
trying to find that fine line of ignoring it, but also dealing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that I had the other day myself. I let it go, let them comment. I thought, you know what, they're getting my viewing minutes up, they are getting my comments up. You know, the engagement is going higher and higher. But it gets to a point, and they hit that line where I thought, nope, not happening anymore. You're out, and that was that.
And that was that. Yeah. And then I'll get folks that will come back in on another account and say, why did you mute me, and why did you do this, and why did you do that? And I think it must be
Have
so
you not
awful
got
that that's the
anything
only
better
life
to
that you have. Yeah, is to engage like that. But anyway, I don't get very much of it. It is more now. It's kind of like when I hit 200,000 followers, my world changed, and everything started to grow exponentially from there. So now I get a whole lot more. I get more invitations to the dark side. I'm going to call it, come look at
Yeah.
my special video, and and whatever. And I get more trolls. In the beginning, I had very few. I do get more now, but
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I've
not
only
bad.
just hit 4,000, and this is where I've started to get, you know, the odd one here and there that's sort of starting to drop a little bit of shit in, and it's just like, no.
I had to have the hater phenomenon explained to me. My sons had to sit me down and explain that there are some people that their enjoyment in the world is just to like pick one of us and find something about us that they don't like, and then just hate on it and try to get other people to hate on it. And I think that, I'm just going to say this. I think that the political and moral, from the U.S. government standpoint of who we have in charge.
Sorry.
I was waiting for this. I apologise on Daddy's behalf. She's currently watching football. She's a Newcastle fan. I'll take it they've just scored. I did tell her beforehand not to do it.
It's all right, Danny. Lurkers are all right. If you just want to lurk and watch the game, I'm not really going to say anything interesting.
I do apologise, sorry, but it's a big league, Champions League game. But anyway, sorry, carry on.
That's all right. That's important. I totally understand. And, when I get that nitroglycerin pill, everything's going to be fine, and I'll just settle right down. Sometimes the political thing kind of gets in there, and I think that that the whole attitude in America right now, I apologize for it worldwide, because I'm disgusted by the current
Situation.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we try and keep politics out of the podcast.
And I'm
Because
yeah.
as soon as we start on it, it's just going to turn into a massive rabbit hole. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone wants to talk about it. So
But
that's why we
trolls
try to steer
do.
away
Trolls
from it.
will come in and just try to get it started. That's what I was
Exactly.
referring
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, exactly that. And yeah, I 100% agree with you on where you come from with it. The trolls are coming in. Start with the political rubbish. Start with, like you said, they'll find something about what you're doing or what you look like, and they'll just go in on that. And you're just kind of like, how old are you? Because 9 times out of 10, they're fully grown adults that are doing it.
Yeah.
It is. Like, it's not the kids, it's the fully grown adults that are doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you
absolutely.
get people in their mid-20s coming in, and they're like, oh yeah, you're rubbish at doing this, or you look like that, or you look like this. And it's kind of like, I'm a 30-year-old bloke. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm not streaming for you. I stream for myself.
Right. And
I
if you're not pleased by my appearance, then scroll on.
Exactly
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. If you don't like it, leave.
Yeah.
It's that
Just
easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I've always said, like, when I'm streaming, and yes, it does sound a little bit selfish, it's for myself, it's my way of getting out of reality. It's
Yeah.
it's blocking out the outside world.
You get into
a
somebody
stressful
else's
day.
reality for a bit.
Yeah. And yes, it sounds selfish, but it's for me. The content that I put out there is for me.
And for me.
And obviously, yes, it does kind of change when you start to get a following, because obviously that following's come through with what you're playing. So you do kind of feel obliged to play that game that's brought in that big following. But at the same time, you still need to keep like your self morals, like with just playing for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, and
of
in the
devil,
process,
and the devil shall appear.
there you go. In the process, though, you're going to meet people that like the same thing that
Exactly.
you like. So it does build a community.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in that process, it's brought me along to you. And like I said, from that first stream that I come across, I was like, I need this woman on my podcast.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, thank
I
you.
sent it over to Danny, and she was in agreement. She was like, yes. She was like, do whatever you can, get her on the
Absolutely.
podcast, because we need to find out her life on like just what started the streaming for yourself.
Because again, it's not the normal thing for us to see with our generation. So it was definitely piqued our interest as to how you got stuck into it.
Am I answering that for you, or are you getting a flavor that I've had several different jobs in my life that, if you look at them all together, they have always been, I'm going to call it in customer service and presenting myself to other people. Therefore, it's very easy for me to talk to people. Because you have to, if you're a doctor's receptionist, if you're, whatever, you're meeting people. So everything I've ever done in the working field has been in front of other people. So this is easy for me. And then I talk a lot, and that makes it easy. I think it's hard for gamers to build a community, I would think, who never engage with their viewers, as I'm ignoring all of my viewers right now. Anyway, so if you can respond to what somebody says, if you enjoy conversation, if it's really hard for you to talk to people, I think that streaming would be difficult for you to do, even as much as you might
Exactly.
enjoy playing the games and whatever. If you can't interact with people, you're going to have a hard time building the community. And I think another thing is that you have to be yourself. And I'll be honest, I pretty much like who I am. I think that's kind of important.
Well, we absolutely like who you are as well.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
absolutely
I like
love
who
it.
I am. I'm pretty much happy. I've been again blessed with some wonderful things that have happened for me, and I have a circle of people around that help me a lot. And I'll tell you what, be honest, be who you are. So sometimes, in a spirit of transparency, I do reveal things about how I feel about life issues and, the things that we're all dealing with right now in the whole world, from our bodies to, our lives and our interests and all those sorts of things. And I do also add a spirit of transparency to that and tell people who I really am. I add in there that I'm a person of faith. I think that's fair. If that's a turnoff for some folks, it's not something that I try to ever push off onto anybody. I'm not like that at all. I believe firmly we are all on our own spiritual journeys, and they're important and relevant, and let's pursue them, but let's respect each other in there. There's been a real loss of respect. And unfortunately, by people of faith are very primary in that in a lot of areas, and of any faith, of all faiths. When you start to hate everybody else but your little personal way, then you're letting hatred creep in, and that's just awful. And I try to keep that from happening too. But be who you are, be transparent, and feel like it's okay to reveal a little bit of who you are. That will make people understand you better. Just like you're saying, you want to to know more about me. I'm willing to tell you, so we can be friends, okay? And we can chat a lot. So
Absolutely.
Exactly. Love it. Absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the questions to all of our chats.
Yep.
So again, it could be a question for yourself, bonus mum, be a question for all three of us, or just a specific person. I do have someone in my chat to kickstart that off with, and this one is from Pal Right in the Kisser, who was last week's guest. And he's asked, this is a question for you, bonus mum. And he's asked, is there anyone you haven't streamed with yet that you would like to?
well, now that's a tough question. That really is, and I'll explain why. As you know, when we were starting to go live this afternoon, my invitations were turned off. There were a couple of people I streamed with in the early days that were members of my community, and because I was so inept at what I was doing, my son would have to run in and save me between the getting in and the getting out, and you may have to help me get out of this, okay? So because I'm so technically challenged, Pixel said, Mom, it would be better if you didn't stream with people. And so it's just not something that I do or that I've thought about. You're the first person I've interviewed with, probably the first people that I've interviewed with in over a year. So it's not something that I've given a whole lot of thought to. I've done a couple of interviews with D&D people in the early days, and I've hosted a couple where I interviewed Nerdy Teacher and Doc Robert, and there were some other folks. If Kamala Harris ever wants to live stream with me, or Jasmine Crockett, or a few people like that, or Elizabeth Warren, these are all American politicians, I would be thrilled. But in this community, I'm about to reveal another. This may be a turnoff. Okay, I don't scroll through TikTok a lot. I don't watch a lot of other streamers. I'm sitting here for 3 to 6 hours a day doing this at least 5 days a week. And if I don't get up and walk around, I can't because I have arthritis. So if I'm playing a game, I'm streaming it. If I'm not streaming, a lot of times I'm sitting in the recliner with my feet up reading a good book. So there are some authors I would love to talk to. Because I like science fiction fantasy novels, but I'm not really tuned in to the world of streamers. I have to admit it. That was a long answer to say not really, but I'm open to suggestions.
No, it's absolutely fine. So, coming away from why...
Oh,
I don't know what's going on with my stream. Apparently my live's going to end in 5 minutes, 2 seconds.
well, I'm getting lots of live. Okay. So Lightsight would like to know on your all side, what inspired you two, to start streaming?
So, I've always loved gaming. I started off, obviously, like Danny said, on the Sega Mega Drive. I've gone up through all of that through the PS1, PS2, all stuff like that. And I thought, I'm going to have a go at streaming. Put myself out on Twitch, because you could do that straight from your PlayStation or Xbox at the time.
Okay.
And pretty much went from there. I've in total probably about 15 years, but there was a lot of on and off like periods throughout that. And then obviously I was given the chance to be able to go live on TikTok, and yeah, I just gone from there really.
Okay.
For me, I had never really used TikTok whatsoever up until about June this year, and I was just scrolling through on Facebook.
Exactly
I've
that.
always gamed from being a kid
Yeah, same.
all the way up until now. I've always gamed board games, console games, PC games, card games, all of that kind of stuff. And I was scrolling on Facebook, and there was this guy that would go around different people in the street, and he would ask, it was called the career ladder, and he'd ask somebody what their job was, not what their job was, sorry, he would have to try and guess what their job was within the space of 2 minutes. If he didn't get it, then the person had every right whether to tell him or not. Anyways, he was asking this woman who was you couldn't get the answer. And she did tell him what she did, and in the end she says, "Oh, I'm a game streamer." I thought, what's that? Sorry, dog's going off. I thought I'm just gonna have to have a look into that, and I thought, okay, I'll just play the PlayStation, and I uploaded a couple of videos, and it was actually the agency that myself and Steve are in. He actually reached out and he had said, I really like the content that you've uploaded. How do you feel about being in the agency and doing live streaming? So I thought, yeah, might as well give it a shot. And it took off.
Okay, cool.
Much bigger than I thought it would as well. So that's how I got into it.
Well, Lightsight was saying, has come back and said the question was for me as well. And for me, it's the continuation, like you're saying, of always being a gamer. And then I was blessed enough. I was in my late 30s when I had both of my sons. So I'm older than my son. I'm old enough to be my son's grandparent. But I hung out with them. My husband and I both. He's older. He's older than I am. Took the attitude that we need to know what our kids are doing, and so we've been very involved in our children's lives. We've been friends with our children's friends as much as was appropriate, and they would let us. And then the D&D came along, and we started actually playing at table together. Which, if you do find D&D, you will find that there is no age involved at all. You are fellow players, and off you go. That's true of almost all board games, unless it's Chutes and Ladders, maybe. But I got to be in with the crowd of people, and I met some gamers, and it was gamers that led me into gaming. Let me put it that way, and that's my question for Lightsight, is gamers led me to on-stream game streaming.
Love that.
I'm looking to see.
Is there anybody in my chat that's got any questions for myself, Steve, or BonusMom, or for all of us?
Yeah, I think D&D has always been one of them games that I've always wanted to play, but I've never been able to work out how to even start playing it, or let alone even find people that do play it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've always wanted to play it. I love watching it. Always wanted to play it. Never ever been able to find somebody that could take the time to walk me through what the hell to do.
Yeah.
Well, I can help you with that on Dungeons and Dragons, because one of the actual Discord community that I'm in is actually my son Hammer and Pixel's original Discord that he founded just for Dungeons and Dragons. And the thrust of it was two-pronged: to give dungeon masters an opportunity to be players, because a lot of time if you're willing to run the game, and that's either calls you're either the dungeon master or the game master, a DM or a GM, they never get to play because everybody is always like, well, I want to play, and I can't be the game master, so it was to give game masters an opportunity to play, but also to give players an opportunity to play and new people to play. So one of the real focuses in the early days was Dungeons and Dragons. So we have a reasonably active Dungeons and Dragons community, and I would think that once to twice a year, probably currently not more often than that, one of our DMs. Oh, I have to do the puzzle. Excuse me a moment. Interesting that they.
I'm just going to mute my mic for just a couple of minutes because the kids have just come back from the firework display.
Okay. So, if you both want to join Bonus Mom's Tavern, there are several different channels in there and opportunities to get to talk to dungeon masters and talk to other players. And games start one. As a matter of fact, what Pixel usually does is run what's called a one-shot, which ends up being a 2 or 3 session thing. They're supposed to go in one session, and they never do. They always take longer. Dungeons and Dragons is not a game you can sit down and read any of those books about. It's a game you need to play in order to learn.
Yeah.
And our community very much has a focus on that, but there are probably others also. So I think that you would find more Dungeons and Dragons players on the Purple app on Twitch than you would on TikTok. But I suggest you go looking or come join my community, and I'll root for you. I'll do my best to get you in a game.
Yeah, because I think my biggest struggle was trying to work out what type of character I would be. Because I sit there and I think about it, I was like, I really don't know. Like, I have no clue what kind of character I would play or how like I would even come about creating that character.
Okay, when you get a dungeon master, you get somebody, he's the storyteller. Let's just say he's the storyteller. There is a process where you go through and create your character, and your dungeon master is going to work with you. If you're a brand new player, your dungeon master is going to say, you might want to think about being a fighter, which is just a real like the easiest character to play, or make like and probably steer you away from wizard because it's more complicated, maybe, or druid. But if you said my whole dream of my life is ever to play wizard in Dungeons and Dragons, then your game master will say, let's do it. But they help you build your character.
Okay.
And one of the places that it gets to be really fun is when you start to work on who your character is, because when you play the game, you try to respond as though your character would.
Yeah.
Wonderful opportunity for improv. If you've ever wanted to write a book, pull the character from that book you wanted to write and turn it into a D&D character, because then you're going to know how your character would respond because it's that person in the book. Or maybe you have you have a favorite TV show. I do that all the time for one shots. I'll pull somebody. I might decide that I'm going to play just somebody from a TV show that I really like. And then, or, because I'm old, it's going to be a TV show. For you all, it would be somebody off of YouTube or, whatever somebody from Stranger Things, I don't know, or ER or whatever. Then you know how you're going to react because you know how that character in the TV drama would react. And so those are a couple of easy sorts of ways to get you started. And we've gone in a whole different direction on this interview, haven't we? Do you all have any other D&D questions for us? Oh,
Honestly, this is the whole point of the podcast. We go and I think last week we ended up doing conspiracy theories.
Oh, Lord.
Like, we love a good conspiracy theory over here. Like, that's the whole point of the podcast is, we'll talk about you, but we'll talk about loads of other rubbish as well, because it brings out the real you. Because it means that you're comfortable talking and just chatting with us about absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of the podcast.
That's so funny, though, about conspiracy theories. I have one, and I've been talking about, I think, ever since I was in high school. And I was talking about it in my community one day, and a writer was in there, and she's like, do you mind if I use that for the story of a book? And so now I've got this person out here who's supposedly writing a book with my conspiracy theory in it. I do have another question. Kathleen Fisher is saying, do you guys have any self-doubts or hesitations before starting, I'm going to say, the gaming, streaming? I think that's what they're talking about, the whole shebang. Were you nervous when you started?
Absolutely.
Yes. When I first started, I never used to put my face out there. It just used to be my gameplay and my voice.
That was exactly the same with me.
And
people kept asking to see your face. And then I would see all these other streamers that are really successful and they've got the split screen. So, yeah, I think me and you both started sort of showing our faces at the same time, I think.
Yeah.
But you were very nervous about showing your face. Okay.
Oh, 100%.
I wasn't nervous at all. I'm going to be honest. I was totally not nervous because I had no concept of what I was doing. Okay, I hadn't watched other streamers. The first time, again, Vincent Page is another streamer who he started on Facebook and then moved to Twitch and is my son's very good friend. And I got this thing in the Facebook day about, do you want to follow him? And I said, sure. This other thing, which turned out to be his gaming, and I stumbled across it one night, and he was sitting there playing a game, and I thought that was about the strangest thing I had ever seen in my life. And again, my sons had to explain it to me. So I stumbled in, Kathleen. I had a Kayleen, excuse me. Okay, Pixel. I see you're he or she or they, but I'm not sure what your question is. Was there a question that went with that?
Yeah, I think I was more nervous starting the podcast than what I was streaming. Because I was used to streaming, I was used to playing the game, but playing the podcast, like starting the podcast, because it's so stripped back, I've not got a game to hide behind. It's literally just us sat here in front of the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you say Pixel Rix is your son?
No, Hammer or Hammer and Pixel.
Oh, right, okay.
And he was trying to ask me a question, but it's like I got part of it, but not all of it, and now I can't see anymore. Oh, okay. How I don't know how much time we have. They're asking me where my name Bonus Mom came from.
There's no time limit
There's
on this. It's
Okay.
literally until we're finished.
Well, or your team wins, and then you'll have to go out for a celebratory dinner, right? So the first Dungeons and Dragons online campaign that I was going to do that was going to be live streamed. I was in it. It was Curse of Strahd, and Vincent Page was one of the players. Well, he is my son's best friend since where we live now. And so we do this thing at the beginning where everybody goes around and says what your name is and who you're going to be playing and whatever. And I said, and I said my name because that was then, this is now. And I said, I'm going to be playing this circle of a grave cleric. Anyway, and I said, I'm Hammer and Pixel's mother, and I'm Vincent Page's other mother, which is like the mother. He's my son of another mother. And then I said, and if you're streamed today, well, I guess I'm your other mother too. Well, in Dungeons and Dragons, there are actions that are called bonus actions. They're extra things you can do on your turn. It's a turn-based game. If you've ever played Baldur's Gate 3, it follows the same format.
yeah.
So, somebody in chat, Ham Pamwich, one of the members of the community, said, "You're the bonus mom. You're our bonus mom," because I'm a bonus action bonus mom. That didn't take too long for me to tell, and that's where the name came from. It just
Love
took,
that.
and then I immediately became bonus mom and have been ever since.
Absolutely love that.
I've got someone on my chat from EB. This is to Steve and Bonus Mom. Let me just find it again.
Okay.
What's your favourite block in Minecraft?
I don't have a favourite block, to be fair. That's quite an easy one for me.
It depends on what you're using them for. I will say that when the pink cherry wood and the pale wood came out, I really loved both of those woods. I like the combinations of all the pink. I like the pale wood with the bark on, and I like it with the bark off. And I think it was just because they're recent, and we spent so much time, because I love to build, trying to fake like plaster, like English houses, the cross beams and the plaster, and you're trying to either do it from calcite or bone or, all of these, or birch, and you're stripping the birch wood, all that stuff. And when pale wood came out, I was ecstatic. And I also found the thing that Pixel was trying to say. He feels that I implied that dungeon masters are male, and he was being cheeky and correcting me. Dungeon masters are he, she's, or they.
Any questions for Bonus Mom? Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't really have a favourite block in Minecraft. If I'm honest, I'll just use this, that, and everything. So that's quite an easy one for me.
Well, what's your favorite
And
thing,
what
since
you
we're not
guys are saying about these blocks is straight over my
head?
I haven't got a clue. Not a clue.
Yeah, I'm live streaming, so doing a little interview. Bonus Dad is wandering around. Okay, seeing if I'm okay. Do you want to come say hello
Love
to
that.
everybody?
Yes, if Bonus Dad wants to come over
Okay,
and say
Steve
hello,
has
then we're
never
all
met you, and neither
for it.
has Danny. So come, button up your shirt over your t-shirt and come on in.
We can tell him all the embarrassing stories that you've told us.
Guys, anyone in my chat that's just joined, anyone that wants to ask any questions to me, Steve, or Bonus Mom, ask away.
There I am. Hi, everybody. I'm Bonus Dad.
Good evening, Bonus Dad.
Every once in a while,
good afternoon,
Bonus
Bonus
Mom
Dad. I
lets
should
me
say.
get on her stream and
Somewhere you can go.
and
It's residential.
run my mouth.
Every bit.
Love
Again,
that.
like I said, he'll read a poem or two, sing a song. Hey, why don't you just sing your signature song? Because they probably don't get a lot of people in here that sing songs.
Okay,
Yeah, yes, we'd love to hear a
grab
song.
your coat
Off-
and get your hat.
Before Bonus Dad
Leave
does,
your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter-pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with the blues on parade. But I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. There you go.
Amazing. Love that. Well done.
Love that.
I'm a lucky woman.
Absolutely amazing. I can definitely understand why that got your heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Steve, you were starting to say something, though, when he started to sing.
Yes, I do have a question for Bonus Dad if he's willing to
Okay,
answer it.
Bonus Dad, we have a question for you.
Okay.
So I want to know how he feels about you streaming and how obviously popular you are and how big your community is.
He says, how do you really, I mean, this is reveal time. How do you really feel about what I'm doing right now, how big the community has gotten, how much time it takes, and how do you feel about it?
Well, let me get back in here.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is. To think that Bonus Mom has touched and touches so many people's lives. You know, with kindness and love and support and generosity that she shows other people, and people have shown back to her. You know, it's just really amazing. It's a blessing for both of us. So I enjoy it, and I'm glad she enjoys it. She does hit some times when she gets frustrated and and whatever, but in general, it's been an excellent time. So, yep, overall pretty
Love
good.
that.
Thanks for
Absolutely
asking.
love that.
I love that.
That's brilliant. Absolutely love it. To know that he supports you so much, and is so, well, he's so proud of where you are now. Just it's so heartwarming. It's amazing. I absolutely love it.
Well, I'm his third wife. He's my second husband. We both were very damaged when we met each other. You know, relationships. It takes two people in every set. We had as much to do with messing all those up as the other side did. That's the way it goes. It's both sides. We were both very damaged and we're climbing out of holes. And when we decided to marry, we were older. And wanted to have children and knew that as a result of that, we were going to be older parents. We made a commitment to our marriage of this is it. We believed in it so firmly that that's what we put on our wedding napkins. We had a banner over our reception that said, this is it, no more. And we really committed in the beginning to that no matter what, we were going to stick it out because we were kind of moving through a lot of difficult situations to get together. And as a result of that, we just felt like we got to go all in. And I think that has worked in our favor. And just a little piece of my story of my personal journey of faith is that I was not a believer and I was not a person, very agnostic, very much thought I was an intellectual, thought I knew it all, whatever. But as he and I look back, and he was struggling, there were areas in his life that he was struggling, and he talks about it, some addiction problems and just different things that as we look back on our life, we can very much see that there was a divine blessing and a way out for both of us in getting together that was more than just the passionate love of two people who fell into lust and decided they wanted to be together for the moment, okay? That there was a plan. And I think that that's one of the things that's helped us stay together is I came to a point of understanding that there actually is a plan for my life. And this is it. And I'll tell you now that I absolutely see this as a form of ministry, not in the name of a religion even or a deity, but of being able to care about hurting people. And the number one category of people that I have in every live stream that I do are hurting people. And we're all hurting, aren't we? I mean, there are things just like the thing about I'm afraid to stream. Why? Well, because people are going to see me, right? They're going to see me. And we just get in our troubles sometimes so deeply that we don't want to be seen. And it's huge. If you're willing to let that camera shine on you, because that camera, it does distort some things and it does reveal some things. And it can be devastating to see ourselves even on camera. We remember what we
Yeah.
looked in high school, right? We all remember how cute we were in our senior high school pictures, and now we're going, this ain't that. So,
A few wrinkles turning up here, a few wrinkles turning up there, and
no.
I mean, I'm only 30 years old. I'm bald already, and
Well, and
I
I'm
blame that to
losing
my poor
mine.
kids.
And I'm going to take this off. I've had to just recently change from headphones to earbuds because the headphones were sitting on my hair so much my hair was falling out. So,
Yeah, I blame me going bald for my 4 kids. So they're my reason for going bald, not
oh,
anything
okay.
else.
Blame it on the kids. There you go. That works. Yeah.
Exactly that. It's an easy cop out when you've got kids. It's like, yeah, it's their fault.
It's those kids.
Yeah.
I've got someone, so Taylor in my life, who would like to know for Bonus Mom, as a person with a business or opportunity, how do you take time for both? How do you take time for both of them to work?
Okay, what are the two things?
So he said, as a person with a business or an opportunity, how do you take time to do both? So your business or opportunity, and then obviously
My
your
real
streaming.
life, yeah. Well, okay. My children are grown. I do, if for temporary reasons, have both of our sons are currently living with us. My one son just recently sold a house, and the other one, Pixel, came home to do online classes in the middle of everything. And I will say that this thing that I'm doing where sometimes I stream 6 hours a day, this is my second stream of the day right here, is that I have given up cooking and house cleaning, and that's not a good thing. Neither one of those things is good, and we certainly can't afford to have somebody do either one of those things for us. Bonus Dad is picking up a lot of the slack and doing the laundry and things that I used to do. So it is a challenge. It is a challenge. I also, at my age, I do have a lot of arthritis. I've got some bursitis and shoulder that I just recently aggravated just from the right hand and the mouse. And I'm not sure that I'm handling it well. I'll be honest. We kind of need to look at things and see, you know, Bonus Mom, there for a while, you were streaming 7 days a week, and I've backed off because of the dog, and I'm thinking, I'm actually having more time to get more things done. Maybe I need to rethink this. So I'm kind of in the process right now of trying to figure out how to juggle wanting to stay connected to my community, I need to spend more time with my Discord community. And that's another thing I want to say is if we're going to say, come on over to the Discord, you'll get to know us better, then we need to be there for you to get to know us. And I haven't been doing as good a job on that as I need to. So that's a challenge, juggling the whole thing. We spent hours and hours in front of this, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And the time can go so fast when you're streaming, when you're gaming. I mean, especially with Minecraft, I would fall asleep, I'd wake up 8 hours later, and Steve will still be playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
But even like with one of the games that I play, one game can take a good 45 minutes if you're playing it well. So by the time you've had sort of 3 or 4 games, you've been streaming for 2.5 hours. And yeah, the time does just pass you by, doesn't it, when you're doing it?
It does, yeah. So it's something I have to think about. I'm going to take a minute and look.
Taylor, who asked you that question, is just mentioned there. He's a college student with debts and a job and an intimate relationship, and it's hard to make it all work. So
yeah,
I think he admires what you do a little bit, definitely.
And I think the fact that I'm retired, so some of those things like Bonus Dad and I just don't date anymore. You know, a date for us is going to the grocery store, or sitting in the recliner and reading separate books, and that does make a difference. Again, my children are raised. I'm here. You know, feeding the cats in the morning is something that, you know, we got to be doing that and checking the mail or whatever, but we do kind of live sedentary lives now.
Yeah.
He could not, it would have been hard for me to do this when he was a pastor and I was working at a dentist office and then rushing home and trying to be sure the guys who were in high school at the time were getting everything accomplished. So for me, the timing is perfect.
Yeah. It's a shame that Pixels had to go out to work, because I would have loved to have asked him the same question that I asked Bonus Dad, just like same with Redbeard and your other son, just to get their view on obviously their mum putting himself out there like for the world to see, and to
Right.
getting the following that you've got, like just to get their view on it. But I'm 99% sure it's exactly the same as Bonus Dad's response of how proud they are of you and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Well,
I mean,
I'll
we've
tell a
always wanted
couple.
more guests, so there's nothing stopping us from getting every single family member on.
Yeah.
Well, Pixel's at work, and Redbeard has been up with this dog at night. Like we're having a few, she's been deathly ill. Parvo is, if not treated, will kill within
Has she
hours.
got- So I'm a veterinary nurse.
Okay, so
in my day-to-day
we
life.
rescued a dog Sunday a week ago. Took her to the
No
vet on
worries,
Monday.
pal.
Things were good. Tuesday, she started to not do well. Took her to a nighttime emergency hospital and was diagnosed with parvo.
Parvovirus, yeah, it's nasty.
Yeah, it's very.
So-
and then aggressively, thousands of dollars later, we have her home now, and she has survived it.
And that's not very common. When parvovirus is at its worst, the mortality rate is quite high. So actually, that's good that she's come out of it. Did they give you any aftercare as to what might happen in the future with problems down the line once they've had parvovirus?
She when she went to the doctor on the Monday that we just took her in, because we thought maybe she had a chip. And if she belonged to somebody else, because they had rescued her like off a hiking trail, and she didn't have a chip, but she was 3 weeks pregnant. So on top of everything else, she was pregnant. Now the decision was made to aggressively try to save her. Obviously, there's no saving the puppies. They were, whatever. And we probably have lost the puppies. We're not sure, but we suspect so. So, yeah, he came home with lots of long-term, lots of instructions for the moment, and then we go back to the doctor in 2 weeks, and I think that might be a time when we'll find out more long-term things. We're keeping her isolated now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once she's over the worst, you can, they can still be vaccinated. And it just might mean that further down the line in the future, they might just have a bit of gastro problems.
Yes.
Special diet for the rest
Because
of his life.
it attacks the gastro system. Yes, they
does.
did tell us that. But she's an amazing dog. Again, we've decided she's an angel. My son needed somebody to love. He and his wife are currently separated, and they're trying to decide what they're going to do. And this dog has been a tremendous gift to him. So we're seeing blessing all over it.
Love that.
I want to tell you, if I can tell you a story or two, since the time is not limited.
You can tell us any story you want.
Two things about Pixel. He was streaming late at night, and then his work schedule changed, and he hasn't been streaming. And he does get very political. He is a communist socialist, very progressive fellow. And when he streams, he'll play like he would play Minecraft and look at it from a story perspective. This is the aftermath of this, that, and the other thing. And he gets all in on the politics. But he's had a situation where he and I would be playing Elden Ring or something together. Then I get off for the night when we were streaming. Like I'm going to say I would stream from 10:30 my time to midnight. And I would go to bed. And he would be streaming, and then he would raid somebody, or somebody would come in and be like, what have you been doing? And he'd say, well, I was playing Elden Ring with my mom. And they're looking at him. He's headed for 40. He's 36 or something. Your mom? He's like, yeah, I play Elden Ring with my mom. And they, they're like, well, who is your mom? And he would say, well, she streams too. And he actually promotes me. I've had people come into my community and say, well, I met Hammer and Pixel last night, and he told me to come meet you. You're his mom? Question mark or whatever. So he promotes me. And then we were going to Gen Con, which is, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, Gary Gygax had a whole lot to do with bringing it into book form. And he didn't invent it, but he had a lot to do with promoting Dungeons and Dragons. And there's a big convention that happens every year in March that his family runs. He's passed away now. That's a Dungeons and Dragons convention. And we went, and he asked me to go with him. He's a tad introverted. It doesn't really come out in his streams. It's that persona you're talking about. But in his real life, he's introverted. And so I said, okay, tell me the truth here. Are you going to be embarrassed to go to this thing with your mom? Are you? How's that going to work? And he said, this is what I want from you. And he was looking at me eyeball to eyeball. He said, I want you to go out there in front and put the personality on. He said, you're going to lure the people in, and then I'm going to talk to them about Dungeons and Dragons because I'm the one that has the information. And so that's what my son thinks about me. I'm a doorway. When he streams, people come through my doorway and go to him.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot of more, he's more involved in the games and the understanding of them and the all of that. So he sees his mom as a doorway.
Amazing.
And I am that. There have been people that have come through the TikTok doorway into my community and bled back into Vincent Page's community, Hammer and Pixels, Igor's Lair. Reams, streams, they're people I've played with, and it could theoretically happen for you all too. You could get more American viewers, because 65 of them are sitting here watching me, and maybe they'll check with who you all are going to interview next week if you'll tell them who that is. And maybe I'll tune in too.
We currently don't have anyone lined up for next week.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get
working on
Pixar
that.
for next week, but the timing might be.
We'll have Bonus Dad next week.
You have Bonus Dad next week. There you go. And these 65 people would be back. So that's the thing about what I do. I'll be honest, is I'm a doorway, and sometimes people come into my community and end up with other people who actually more meet their ongoing friendship needs than the grandmother. Does that make sense? Am I making sense in what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vincent Page is he plays more scary games. He's younger, trendier, whatever, more things to talk about. I'm going to talk about Frank Sinatra and hula hoops, and he's going to be talking about modern stuff, so yeah.
Love that. Love
Amazing.
it.
Oh, yeah, they're saying I'd watch a Bonus Dad episode. There's one folks saying there.
I was going to say, I think we'd have quite a few people watching a Bonus Dad episode. So I think we might just have to have a little chat with Bonus Dad and try and convince him to come on.
Well, he is also a gamer. He does not play. He didn't like Minecraft because of the pixelization and the point of view.
He's definitely coming onto this podcast.
He plays Rift and... oh, shoot. What is the other one? Rift, and it's another one-word game. He plays those a lot. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he probably would.
Love that.
Oh, Vincent Page is in here now. Say, whoa, why are we talking about me? Well, Vincent, you came up several times. I am interviewing with Steve and Danny on Unmuted and Unhinged, and they would love to interview you too, I am sure, and find out about why you game, how you got into your gaming. Vincent Page's story is entirely different from mine, and he is he's younger than I am, so he knows more, and he is a cool dude. I'm just telling you, Vincent Page, you would love him. I'm gonna send you a way to get in touch with him.
Yeah, just tell him to
absolutely.
either message myself or Danny
Yeah.
on either one of our pages, and 100% we'll have him on.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. Now, we brushed over something slightly. You were saying that you have a conspiracy. I need to know what this conspiracy is. I love a good
I
conspiracy.
guess you'd have to buy the book, wouldn't you? It involves a shoe. I'll give you a clue. It involves a shoe. I'll tell you, because I talked about it on stream. Ever since I've been really kind of young, tootling up and down the highways, we used to go to and from where I lived in Virginia to Washington, D.C. one weekend a month because my grandmothers were there, and then we'd go to West Virginia. A lot of traveling. Mom was a single mom. She'd throw the kids in the car and go somewhere. And I'd be tootling along, and this is pre-interstate, okay? But I've even seen it on the interstate, and there'd be a shoe laying beside the road. I've seen them here where I live in Knoxville. You're driving down, you'll see just a shoe. Now, there's a thing in Western Pennsylvania where when you graduate from high school, guys would take their Nikes and throw them over a phone line. This is not that. You start looking in parking lots and grocery stores, you'll see children's shoes, you'll see adult shoes, not every day. But since I've been talking about this, people will tell me on my stream, my God, I saw a shoe yesterday. So I call it the single shoe phenomenon. And I think the aliens really are stealing us, okay? But they're cocky, those aliens, and they leave a shoe behind.
Yeah, because it's only ever one that you see, isn't it?
It's only
Never
one.
a pair.
Nobody went
Yeah.
back for that single shoe. It had to be somebody who was abducted.
That's amazing.
So that's it. That's my phenomenon.
I like that. That is good.
Yeah,
That is good.
I've to be fair, that's never crossed my mind. It's
It's
just
definitely crossed mine. I've always wondered when you see it, I wonder where the other shoe is, or how the hell did that shoe just get in the middle of a 70-mile-an-hour road?
Yes. You can understand a glove, a hat, because you can
You know,
lose
it's
that.
blown
Falls
off
out
the
of your
window.
pocket, blew off, but a shoe?
Yeah, and sometimes they've still got their laces tied.
yeah.
It's aliens, guys. I'm surprised that, that whatever that alien, unidentified alien, whatever that TV show that used to be with the guy with the hair, why they didn't do an episode about single shoes, I will never know. I tried to get either one of my sons. Both of my sons are fabulous musicians. They get it from Bonus Dad. They do not get it from me. I kept saying, you need to name your band Single Shoe Phenomenon, and I could never get them to do it, ever. But I think it's a great
Amazing.
I
name.
like that. I like that. I like that.
That's it. I think my favourite conspiracy theory is the whole Elvis Presley, Bob Joyce.
Come on.
That's my favourite conspiracy. And
Okay.
I'm sure you've probably heard of it, with like Bob Joyce being Elvis Presley. Mm-hmm. I am convinced Bob Joyce is him. 100%. I'm convinced. Especially the fact that he's supposedly written a book that will only come out once he's died.
Once he's gone. It was Elvis's way to get out of being famous. He decided to
Yeah.
be Bob Joyce.
Exactly, because every hotel that he would go to, he would always use the name Bob Joyce. And then once Elvis passed away, Bob Joyce come about.
Okay.
Like, it's Elvis.
I'm not going to
And
disagree.
We will find this out. We will find this out in our lifetime. We will.
Yeah.
Well, the one I want the answer to is, had Michael Jackson really lost his nose? Have you all heard that one? That it wasn't a real nose, and that there are autopsy pictures that showed that he didn't have a real nose. That's one I heard at the time.
Yeah, see, there's even one that Michael Jackson isn't actually dead.
Of course
Yeah.
not. No. He's out floating around somewhere. Well, I grew up during the time of the Kennedy assassination, which was devastating to my family. All the women in my family wanted to have John F. Kennedy's children. So anyway, the whole conspiracy that that he's not really dead. Redbeard, come. You want to meet a family member? Another one. Say hello. This is Steve and Danny from Unmuted and Unhinged.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Can you
How
get
you doing?
can you get your face up in here? Cause see this, you need.
Okay, yeah. Your camera is pointed slightly differently. Or
So
something,
what they want to know, and this is a brutally honest question. You cannot hurt your mother's feelings. What do you think about what I'm doing right now? How does that make you feel, and what do you think about it? That was the
fact that you're a streamer. Mm-hmm. I think it's
And
pretty
with
cool.
such a massive follower as well.
I mean, I was kind of doing the same thing for a while, and so it's really kind of interesting to see an older woman, getting into this space where it's mostly like young dudes and young women like me. There's a lot of charm to it. I think it's really interesting. I can see why you have a following, because you're trying to
Unique.
like just be real wholesome and real good to everybody, which is also kind of unusual in online spaces. So it's probably a breath of fresh air for a lot of people. I think it's awesome.
Brilliant.
That's good. That's nice to hear.
That's
Maggie
the whole
pooped outside.
reason why we got you on the podcast, is because you are so wholesome.
Maggie pooped outside. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is big. I'm sorry. This is as good as the football team.
Like the second or third time
I'm
she's
gonna.
done it.
Okay, Danny is a. What is it that your job is, Danny?
I'm a veterinary nurse. I think they call it a vet tech over there, but I'm a
What'd she
veterinary
say?
nurse.
She's a vet tech. Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
okay.
You can't hear. She's a vet tech. So when I started talking about Maggie, so this is the guy that
Ah, yeah, okay.
rescued her.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and she was asking, did they talk to you long term about her gastro situation and things? And I was saying, yeah, we were kind of made aware.
Yeah. They of course the full recovery takes at least 2 weeks, but sometimes a little longer, and then they can have a sensitive gut basically for the rest of their lives after something like that, from what I understand. So we'll have to be a little careful what we feed her and pay attention to her behavior and stuff. But she's been acting real good. Her recovery's going great, from what I can tell.
Amazing.
What kind of dog have you all decided she is, basically, guys?
We think she's some variety of doodle, either a Labradoodle or a Golden Doodle.
But she's
Or
black.
she might even have be a Schnauzer or something. Her fur is real long.
Okay.
And it reminds me of Golden Retriever fur. It's kind of long and loosely curled and coarse. It's not really like poodle hair so much. But she's a real sweet dog, and we're probably here in a few weeks after she's feeling 100%, try to get her genetically tested or something, just because we're curious to see what her actual breed is and everything. She could just be a mutt, but she's a real pretty dog.
Nice.
Love that.
Yeah, so I didn't.
What's up?
Have her stools started to firm up yet?
Okay, that's what he was just telling me. Was it firm? He just told me we had an experience outside, and up till now, her that sort of experience has been inside on the pad. What was
she has gone outside a time or three. She went on the pad in the house once, but that was the biggest dump she took. So I think that was when she was the most comfortable.
So Danny's question is, was the one outside firmer?
It did seem a little more firm and normal looking. We've got her off of the vet food now and onto regular food because we ran out of the prescription diet, and it's a lot less green and a little less runny now.
Great.
She's still on the antibiotics, so she may it's probably going to take a while for it to get totally normal, but yeah, it seems like she's doing real well.
And there's no blood or anything there anymore?
There has not been any blood that we have seen, has there?
Excellent. Lovely.
All right, I'm going to head
Right.
up the hall.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Just the conversation you wanted to have. Bathrooms. It always gets around to bathrooms, doesn't it? Always. Food and bathrooms. It's all old people talk about. That's our only subject usually for discussion.
That's absolutely brilliant. I mean, that's kind of proves the point of this whole podcast of
Yeah.
we start off with you and then we'll just go on one massive tangent about absolutely anything. But
It's fun, isn't it?
Exactly, it's fun. It means that you're comfortable sat there talking to us. Like, the conversation's flowing because we can literally just go from one thing straight into another. I've got to say, obviously, Bonus Dad and Redbeards, absolutely loved meeting them. We'll have to get Pixel to answer that question for us as well.
So we want Bonus Dad, Pixel, Hammer, Vincent. Is
Okay.
that right?
Okay. Okay. I think we can do it. I think that would not be a problem.
I think with Bonus Dad, I'm just going to want to listen to him sing all night.
I know.
He does have his limits on that. His voice is not as strong as it used to be. And so he can usually do a song or two, but he was in pretty good voice this afternoon. He sang to me at our wedding. He sang 2 songs. He sang
love
The
that.
Rose, and then he sang a song.
The Rose, is that the one by Westlife?
It's the one that Bette Midler sang in the movie the same. Bonus Dad, are you close? He's not, and I can't just leap into it. Sometimes if he's singing, some say love. It is a river that drowns the tender reed,
so-
But it's
so
that one.
Westlife cover that as well, which is where I
Okay.
know it from.
Okay. I know it from Bette Midler. So he sang that song. And there are, the middle part of that song speaks very directly to us personally about both of our former relationships. So we identified with that song very heavily. So it's our song. And then he also sang a Don McLean song, And I Love Her So, at our wedding. And
Love that.
I was,
Very nice. Very nice.
yeah.
Absolutely love that. Yeah, I think at my wedding, I just got too drunk. We ended up in a kebab shop at the end of the night. Like, my wife's still in full wedding dress. I'm in my 3-piece suit, just stood in the kebab shop because it's the most English thing to do. You go out you go out drinking. Last thing you do at the end of the night is go to.
Thing to do. It's the most Steve thing to do. Get it right.
Yeah, after a night out, you walk into the kebab shop, get a horrible, dirty, greasy kebab for the end of the night, and yeah, that's what we done at the end of our wedding.
That would not happen in America in most of the places I know because there are no kebab shops.
Oh,
No
see,
kebabs. You know that you all have so much more Indian food than we do because of your relationship to India for all those years. So curries, it's rare to find an Indian restaurant over here, and it's not a cuisine that people embrace at all.
Wow.
And by the way, they don't embrace English food either. Sorry. As a matter of fact, one of my cousins went to visit friends in England, and she said she thought she was going to starve to death. It just wasn't her forte, I guess. And I have a good
Wow.
friend, No Remark, who lives in Darlington, and I am always like reading a
I
Jane
work in
Austen
Darlington.
novel and asking him, "Do you eat black pudding? What is gentleman's relish?" You know, I'm always asking him, "How do you pronounce this?" All of the Northumbershire, right? Berkshire, all of that. I don't say any, like I'd be saying Northumbershire if that's one, or, you know, whatever. I pronounce them all goofy. He tries to teach me how to pronounce. But then if I talk to somebody very long, and I have managed to avoid it from you all, I tend to slip into my fake English accent. I can't help it. I just go there.
I think we would have embraced it, but I think we would have just found it absolutely amazing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely,
Oh, do you think so? You'd like to hear me talk in my English accent? Well, I absolutely could. It wouldn't be any problem at all.
Yeah, see, this is. I think that type of English accent is the Queen's English.
That's the
Well, of
Queen's
course.
English.
Why would I care to speak any other way?
Oh, amazing.
Oh, oh God.
Yeah,
Well,
somebody.
I think if we was to try an American accent, I think every single person that tries it goes to like the most country kind of accent going, like real dumbed down.
Yeah, well,
Real
kind of like
country.
this. Like me and my neighbors, yeah, we're out back and we were hunting in the gully to see if we could find any possums. And you know what? We did.
Exactly. That's where every English person goes with, like, if they try to do an American accent. It's the southern accent for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this part of Tennessee, a lot of people, that's exactly the way that they talk. And the longer that I live here, the more that I talk like that. I am a person who sort of slides into, you know, whatever the local accent is. We got another dog. What a cutie.
She
Yeah.
likes to jump in from time to time, don't you?
Yeah, every podcast you can always
she likes
always
to
count on
be
Lena
part of the
joining
show.
us.
Oh, where is it? Hello, everybody.
Hey there. Welcome, welcome.
But
Oh, yeah.
yes.
And okay, so Dark Zodiac is I can't remember where he is from. He lives in the US now, but is English, and he does have a posh English accent. But he says that if he ever tries to use an American accent, he sounds like somebody from the movie Deliverance, and that's that accent I was just doing, that real southern, real hokey. So apparently
Yeah.
that is what everybody jumps into.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it-
because we can't do anything else.
I have talked to him. I think it would be a hoot because he does have a very posh English accent. He sounds like the king, I guess. We'll say the king instead of the queen. I'd love to do excerpts from Pride and Prejudice where he reads the men's parts and I read the women's parts. But he would be using his posh English accent and I'd be saying, "Oh, Mr. Bennett, I just heard that Netherfield has been rented. We must have you go and meet them. Why, he has $5,000 a year. What pen money that would be for my girls." I just think it would be great fun. So after Christmas, we're sort of thinking about doing that. So we may have a podcast going of our own. Maybe we could come back and try that out with you all. I'd be willing.
100%. You are welcome back any single time. All you got to do is just drop me that message. We'll give you some dates. And yeah, we will 100% have you back.
So I think your follower, No Remark. So he picked up earlier when you said about Darlington. So I work in Darlington. So he's just dropped in and said, "Hi, this is No Remark. I'm the guy from Darlow. So very nice to meet you, mate."
Yeah, yeah. He joined in October of 2022. He started tuning in, and he was a lurker for a while. But a thing that we did, I also have a podcast presence. I'm not very active right now, and a YouTube presence. And we read the first 4 chapters of Dracula that first holiday. Halloween, and each one is like I read the first chapter, Bonus Dad read the second chapter, and then Hammer and Pixel, and it's on YouTube right now. And then I started talking about that, and then he piped in because he lives or has been to Whitby, which is supposedly where Dracula landed when he came from Transylvania to England or something, and Noah Mark sent me pictures, and then our friendship started, and we're very close now. Never met in person, but we're very close.
Love
So
that.
it's a bit like me and you, though, isn't it, Steve? We've never met in person, but yeah.
You all have never met in person?
Nope.
Well, my goodness gracious. Fancy
so
that.
I live at the very south of England. It says it in the name, Southampton. So I'm at the very bottom of England.
I live at the very northeast of England, Northumberland.
So between us, there's about 5 hours driving.
Okay, so how did you all find each other?
Doing this through the agency that we're both a part of. We were with the agency. They used to do like agency battles. So we used to battle like people that are in the agency, and obviously me and Danny arranged one of them once, and we just kind of hit it off from there, really.
Just clicked, yeah. Well, really, he just stalks me.
Okay. I could tell there was kind of, okay, I was getting it. I was feeling it. I'm a little concerned he's going to start stalking me. Do you think I have anything to worry about?
Oh, I'll give you a list.
Oh, okay.
I have always had a thing for the older women. Just don't call my wife that.
Oh, right. That's a rabbit hole we are not going down tonight.
Okay, Dark Zodiac says he is really up for the whole Pride and Prejudice thing. I don't know that we do the whole book, but we might do some excerpts for fun.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like an absolute plan.
And then Dee and Guy are saying they're jealous of you two. My part of the UK is rough. They live in the nice parts. I don't know where the Dee and Guy didn't say where they live, but they're saying they live in the rough parts.
Oh, let me know.
Yeah, we'd like to know.
Do you want to tell us what the rough
rough
parts are? They're just eager to know. Oh, I bet it's Leicester. Is that it? Leicester or Leicester? Leicester. Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
Is Leicester rough?
It's a bit brutal, but it's the same anywhere. You've always got that one in any city, any place you live. Like I live in Northumberland. People think you look up Northumberland and you see all these massive, amazing houses. But actually, I live in a place called Ashington, and people actually call it Afghanistan because of how rough it is. But you've always got that one place that's rough.
That's true where I am. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with where I am as
I'm
well.
loving this live. So I think we're a hit, guys. Are your crew liking you? I'm getting all that. This is great fun, and they love it.
Yeah, they're loving it. My end.
Same with my end as well.
All right. So if you do ever come to the U.S. to visit, my friend Jax is saying there are a lot of kebab shops and Mediterranean food in Michigan.
Okay.
So you can't land in Michigan because it's on one of the Great Lakes. You'd have to land on the coast, but you could go to Michigan and they'd have a kebab or two waiting for you.
No, I'd love that.
I would love that as long as there's a kebab shop where I can get a wrap.
Yeah, there you go. I would now. Dark Zodiac is saying he is from London. I was afraid to say I thought that was right, that he was a Londoner.
Yeah, so Londoners do tend to have that more posher accent than the standard my southern twang of England. Danny's northern gibberish.
Gibberish. She understands my gibberish more than she understands your twang.
I'm getting into it.
My wife's from Lincoln, so she's from up north and all. So I can say it.
Well, I'm doing so much better as I'm getting used to hearing you all. I think we're just doing great on understanding each other now. So I'm really tickled. Okay, I think we've started a great love affair here. Kebab and Mediterranean places are super common in upstate New York too. So I guess it's in the parts of the South that I've lived in that we're kebab free. There's one Indian restaurant here, but it's like a buffet sort of a place, which is kind of cool. I like that because I don't eat a lot of Indian food, and I have to drag Bonus Dad there. He's not much of a curry fan, but we'll go like once every 3 years or something and sample the buffet, and I can try a lot of different things, and I like that.
Yeah, love
One
that.
of my followers has just said, "Wait, have you heard the Scottish accent?"
Yes.
Yes.
One of-
that is even I can't understand the Scottish accent.
And she tries really hard. One of the co-streamers, again, this whole thing is War Siren, and War Siren is here on TikTok. And you would have a divine time interviewing her. She's fascinating. War Siren, it's like war_siren. She is Scottish. But she cleans it up for us, I think, because kind of she has a lot of American viewers, and so I think she, she works really hard. And then there's another friend that I have at the community that she can speak English. We can understand to her, but then, and she lives close to Darlington. She's in Northern England too. And it is not she, it is they. I am so sorry. Let me back out of that. And that's the subject we could talk about, are pronouns, because I really struggle. I'm in a generation which if you sound a certain way, or you look a certain way, I'm going to make an assumption, and a lot of times now I can assume incorrectly. And then I just have to ask for grace and say, remind me and teach me. In addition to that, I also have a dyslexia problem. A particular one in that I say the wrong words. I'll want to say internet. I'll say interstate. I want to call Pixel's name. I'll call Redbeard's name. And even in their usernames, I do that. Their usernames, I'll call Pixel Redbeard and Redbeard Pixel. And those aren't even, we didn't name them those names when they were born. We didn't.
On the birth certificate, Pixel, Redbeard, Hammer.
Yeah. So
On the marriage certificate is BonusMom and Bonus Dad.
Well, my son Redbeard, you all met him, and he does indeed. He's redheaded and he has a red beard. But he did pop it out at like 11 years of age, overnight practically. That beard popped out. But he wasn't born with it, so we didn't name him that.
Just called him Red and added beard later on.
There you go. Absolutely. Yep.
But to be fair, I've absolutely loved tonight. It's been absolutely amazing.
Oh, I have too. I'm having a blast. I think I'm starting to wind down. I think if I don't get out of this computer chair soon, I'm not going to be able to walk. So I probably did think about.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
We will let you go because obviously it's starting to get late for us. It's now 10:15 at night over here.
We've got work in the morning.
Yeah,
How
got
did
to get
we
up and work
talk
in the
so
morning.
long? How did we do that? Oh my Lord, we've been on here for 2 hours, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely amazing. This is what
we were saying when you're streaming. Time just flies by, doesn't it? It doesn't matter what you're doing, it flies by.